and welcome to defenseguru.co.in. My name is Himanshu Sharma, and on behalf of Team Defense Guru, I welcome you to this series of the interview with recommended candidates and now who are successful in the merit list of NDA. Today, I have All India Rank 7 Sachin Kumar with us. So please welcome him. And Sachin, welcome to this experience. How are you, Sachin?
Thank you so much. I'm fine. I'm great. I'm doing good.
So सचिन, हाउ हैव यू बीन डूइंग ब्रदर? कैसा चल रहा है? मतलब इंटरव्यू के बाद से जब रेकमेंड हुए थे आप एंड इवन आफ्टर दैट जब मेरिट लिस्ट आई, सो कैसा रहा एक्सपीरियंस दोस्तों के साथ में? प्लीज शेयर अस.
So I'm Sachin and I'm from Begusarai, Bihar. So my father works in railway and my mother is a homemaker. So regarding my experiences in SSB, so first time I went on 27th Jan and I was the first one from my group mates who were going and I got skinned out. And second time then on 8th December, I remember all the dates so vividly. And so I got again skinned out for other reason. And then third time when I went on 14th Feb, so it was completely a bit different from those two things, those two times what I had done, and I was like, this time I should get screened in. So when my chest number was called out, I was so relieved. At least now अब अंदर जा रहा हूँ, कुछ तो टाइम मिलेगा.
बाकी का देख लूंगा मैं. All right, Sachin, and we'll go through all of those details one by one. But before that, let's go by sequence. And I think you had scored a good 565 in your written examinations, and you have done that thrice. So I would like to know what is your funda of getting through these written examinations and scoring well in that.
So for written examination, just focusing on our strengths and improving our weakness was my key. So in the starting when we had tests, in our college we had tests in maths or in GAT. So I found out that I was not performing so well at maths, even though I was studying. So my productivity was not
maths
that much.
जिनको नहीं आती उनको नहीं आती.
So 50 to 60% I used to score. So
that is still good. Yeah.
So when I was studying GAT, so most of the things I was able to recall, and I was good at science. So and science also comes from around 10th and 11th, 12th basics. So I felt that I could do good in this. So I focused more on science, SST, and English. As we were reading newspapers and reading novels, and we are living in that atmosphere, RIMC atmosphere. So all good English. So I just and our teachers would do grammar notes. So all those referring to those notes, English notes, those things helped. And same thing I kept following throughout till November, the first attempt, then second attempt. Focusing on strength. So even on last day, when the results were out and when I saw my marks, it was like the same 155 I had scored in maths. So that's around 50 to 60 questions in maths, and same way GAT was 410. So 102, 103 questions.
सचिन, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात कही है तुमने कि यू मेंटेन योर स्ट्रेंथ्स. व्हाट वी डू कि अगर हम किसी चीज में अच्छे होते हैं ना तो उसको छोड़ ही देते हैं, यार ये तो कर ही लूंगा, एंड बाकी पे फोकस करने लगते हैं, तो ना घाट के रहते हैं ना इधर के रहते हैं. सो यू डिड अ वेरी नाइस थिंग दैट यू फोकस्ड ऑन योर जीमैट एंड योर गैट पेपर एंड क्वाइट गुड स्कोर. सो हैविंग टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट, जब एसएसबी की तैयारी स्टार्ट की थी, डिड यू थिंक दैट इंग्लिश विल बी अ बैरियर फॉर यू? And I've seen that you have worked very rigorously on that. So जो English में struggle करते हैं उनके लिए क्या advice है तुम्हारी, that what to do?
जैसे English के लिए environment बहुत ज़्यादा जरूरी होता है, ऐसे कि हम किसी से ना किसी से बात करते रहें, क्योंकि हम automatically expect नहीं कर सकते कि जब हम SSB के लिए जा रहे हो तभी आ जाएगी. तो ऐसे था कि जब मैं वहाँ 8th क्लास में ज्वाइन किया था तो सीनियर्स सभी बोलते थे कि read newspapers, read novels. तो इसीलिए मैं एवरी डे 15 मिनट्स का जो हमारा टी ब्रेक होता था उसमें भी मैं जाके न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ता था, और whenever I got time तो I read novel, and of course talking in English was always priority there. So ये सब बहुत काम किया, और फिर रिगार्डिंग एसएसबी जब मैं फर्स्ट टाइम नहीं हो पाया था तो मुझे लगा कि मैं यहीं पे मेरा यही एक एस्पेक्ट है जहाँ पे मैं नहीं काम कर पा रहा, तो वही अब फिर वीडियो खुद के रिकॉर्ड किए, फिर देखा कि कहाँ पे इफ आई एम स्माइलिंग और नॉट, इफ आई एम गेटिंग स्ट्रेस्ड आउट, फिर मिरर के सामने बोलना, और फिर ऑफिसर से बात करना, और फिर मेरे जो इंग्लिश टीचर्स थे मैम उन सब से बात करा, और फिर इम्प्रूव करता गया, और अभी फिर जाके जब रिजल्ट मिला तो बहुत खुशी हुई। मैंने सबसे पहले जब रेकमेंड हुआ तो सबसे पहले उन्हीं लोगों को फोन किया जिन्होंने मेरे लिए इतना सब कुछ किया और फिर मुझे इस मुकाम तक पहुंचाया।
You have gone through all of those things that need to be done English improve करने के लिए. You started reading first, then you also started talking, you started listening with them. So सुनना, सुनाना, पढ़ना, जितनी भी important चीजें होती हैं वो सारी चीजें तुमने की है, and that is why you are able to ace this and ace it with a good margin. ठीक है. Sachin, now I'd like to move to your screenouts. What was the reason of 2 times screenouts? And I know that as soon as you were screened in, you made it through. तुम्हारा routine इतना अच्छा था. You had such a good preparation that you made through. So screen out होने की वजह क्या reason थी and क्या tips रहेंगी तुम्हारे उनके लिए जो अभी इस चीज से struggle कर रहे हैं?
Like I personally I can't give any tips. I can just share my experiences. So like screen out होना ऐसे लगता है कि like we are so much preparation. Nobody expect that he would get screened out, and तो प्रिपरेशन तो था, बट फर्स्ट टाइम स्क्रीन आउट थोड़ा सा शॉक था, मतलब काफी ज्यादा शॉक था, बिकॉज आई हैड नॉट इवन एक्सपेक्टेड, और कभी फेलियर को इतने क्लोज आके नहीं देखा था। तो वही टॉकिंग टू माय टीचर्स एंड माय ऑफिसर्स, द ऑफिसर्स हु वर देयर, so they kept believing in me, and they told me I had the potential, and that kept pushing me forward. So when I analyzed that in the first time I had not participated well in group discussion. So I was like, okay, however the group is going, just let it go. I'll also accept the whatever the group decides. Then in second time, then learning from those mistakes, I overdid it, and my participation was just more. So like then I learned my lessons that I don't have to repeat it. So striking the balance, I listened to them, and narration part was also important. So narration was just in my own words, not trying to actually remember what I had written. I just spoke what came in my mind, and listened to others and gave everyone a chance. So every one of us got a chance to speak. So our group, there were good number of guys who were screened in from our group.
And that is great, Sachin. You had covered, all three aspects. कि जब हम लोग ग्रुप के साथ परफॉर्म नहीं करते हैं, अपने तक रहते हैं, then also we get screened out. ज़्यादा कर देते हैं, किसी को बोलने ही नहीं देते, again we get screened out. As long as we do not accept our group and we do not go with the common aim of making a good story, common story, we don't get along. This is how we get along, isn't it? So अच्छा, जब स्क्रीन इन, हाँ, ग्रुप डायनेमिक्स. सो जब हम लोग स्क्रीन इन हो जाते हैं, सो सचिन होने के बाद यू वुड हैव गॉट अ साई ऑफ रिलीफ कि फाइनली चलो स्क्रीन इन हो गए एंड नाउ आई हैव, जब ये लगा मेरे हाथ में, सो उसके बाद तुम्हारा क्या अप्रोच था? टेल अस दैट.
Okay, so approach was from before very positive, that we have to take one thing at a time, just focusing on one single task and not to mingle any task. That if next day we were informed after documentation that the psychology test was going to be there in the morning, so all of us that day as a group decided, like we are divided into groups, and as a group we decided that we'll sleep earlier so that tomorrow we are fresh uh, for psychology test. And some of us had even interview, so we discussed some of our questions and the current affairs we had. So spending good time with our group was one of the most interesting part. And then again morning 4:30 around we woke up and again breakfast and went for psychology test. And some of us who had interview, they went for interview test. So like even for GTO or interview test, so it was like just go through it. And because much before I was
ज्यादा
thinking
टेंशन
that
नहीं लेते थे तुम लोग, यू ऑल यूज टू गेट अलोंग, हेल्प ईच अदर, डिस्कस करते रहते थे, एक लाइट इन्वायरमेंट बना के रखते थे. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. टेंशन नहीं लेने
sharing
की.
our things like
यस,
to
यू
meet
आर
up
परफॉर्मिंग
and
अमंग योर फ्रेंड्स. ठीक है, टेंशन किस बात की लेने की. एंड यू नो, आई हैव बीन टू 4 कॉन्फ्रेंसेज एंड आई हैड सीन दैट जितना अच्छा ग्रुप में डायनेमिक्स हो सकता है ना, जितना अच्छा हम लोग परफॉर्मेंस के पहले रहते हैं ना, उतना ही अच्छा हमारा परफॉर्मेंस उसमें जाता है ड्यूरिंग आवर टेस्ट. कि सचिन, व्हाट वाज, हाउ डिड यू प्रैक्टिस स्टोरीज एंड हाउ डिड यू स्टे ओरिजिनल इन दोस? बिकॉज इट सीन कि बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं ना कि वो दूसरों की स्टोरी पढ़ के डेविएट होने लगते हैं, उनकी स्टोरी कोट करना उनको ज्यादा अच्छा लगेगा बजाय कि अपने करना. तो वो चीज तुमने कैसे अवॉइड की थी, क्या किया था उसके लिए?
actually you said a very good thing, because after certain time that uh, we stop believing in ourselves that other stories are good. But
Yeah.
we actually don't know that how their past is, or how everybody learns from their experience. So believing in ourselves that whatever we are going to write, that will be okay, because our personality is ours. Even the mentors who were there at RMC, they told us that genuinity one of the most concern. Like if you are not genuine, no one is going to pass you. Even if we are lying to ourselves in a psychology test, we will get found out in interview. And in army or in defense forces, they never accept any type of lying or cheating. So like we have to tell ourselves that
Yes,
we are going to be true to us ourselves, and will stay genuine.
obviously. Sachin,
That's it.
very good highlighted this. You highlighted this very
And
well.
I also, and for practicing, I also use some apps which everybody can use. SSB, Target SSB app, SSB Plus apps, all
We
those things.
also have an app that is Defense Guru ka app, Centurion Defense Academy students app, in which we have everything for practice. Alright, so
Okay.
these apps are very helpful. Sachin, I would like to go through that your interview experience. Anything good out of it? Anything that was not expected by you? Any interesting thing?
Like in that, they ask many things, personal interview. So one question I actually did not expect was one of the mischiefs you have done. Like, so mischiefs. So normally we keep doing so. Like at that time, I had to think. I took time, like around 15 to 20 seconds for that, and then replied whatever I came into my mind. I just
क्या किया
replied that. So questions
क्या किया था?
like वहाँ पे देहरादून मसूरी में स्नो हुआ था, स्नोइंग हुई थी उस दिन, तो हम लोग खेल रहे थे.
हाँ.
तो लाइक उसी दिन हम लोग खेल रहे थे अपने में, तो हमें पकड़ लिया था एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ऑफिसर्स ने, तो फिर हमें पनिश कर दिया था. तो वो एक तरह का था, वो हमने करा था. और ऐसे बहुत सारे हमने मिस्टेक्स किए थे, लेकिन वो मुझे लगा कि अच्छा चलो ये बोल
that
देते
won't
हैं.
be appropriate. एक स्वीट सी
हाँ.
मिस्चिफ भले ही सुना के निकल जाओगे. So we had discussed very good points until now. What according to you is the tips for GTO? Because I find it to be the most fun activity. What was your approach at GTO?
GTO like comprises of almost 8 to 9 tasks. So like I even GTO tells us that your totality will be seen, not in any individual task. So my approach was that if I'm able to speak less in any of the discussion, like we have two GDs, then we have
GP,
lecturate,
lecturer.
then we have GP. So all these things. So even GTO told us that totality will be counted. So in GD, I could not speak much. So like 3 to 4 times, I just gave my point of view and listened to every one of them, every one of my group. So there was a very calm environment there, that everybody was not trying to speak. Everybody gave each other chances. Then in GP, so I speak a bit more because solutions we had to carry it out. So then for
Agree.
lecturate, so I divided my topic into good like 3 to 4 subjects, and I just spoke. Then we went to PGT. So nobody can experience actually that part actually. So
Yes.
my always my approach was that I'm going to help in whatever way I can. So I was
Freshers,
small in
please
that group.
keep a note of this because you won't get familiarized with whatever structures are there. So you have to be very helpful in the group because ultimately it's a group task. ठीक है, individual performance नहीं matter करती उधर. Sachin, on to you.
Yeah. So I was small, and I was a bit fit. So wherever it demanded that some structure had to be tested. So my weight was less there, so I could go and test and finally do the task. Then GT would tell us, okay, this is done, and how would you do that? So I felt
Yeah,
very happy that I could
same happened
contribute
with
for
me,
the.
Sachin. Same happened with me. I was also the smallest and the lightest one among them. So I was made to see that he was a very agile person. Let us give him the chance to go ahead. And that बस एक बार मैदान में आ जाता था मैं फिर क्या just listening, thinking, taking inputs of GTO is also very important because time and time again वो pressure तो डालेगा, but what they also do is they make it sure that they give hints also, and if you are able to catch
Yeah,
that hints and go through, that's a very important thing. That shows how trainable you are. All right.
yeah.
So before we close, please tell that how was your conference and after the result declaration, how did you enjoy?
Like conference was not that long,
Hmm.
like 2 minutes hardly, because, and everybody tells this is a general notion that if it is 2 minutes, then either you are confirmed, you are pass or fail. So
Yeah.
like so after we had our lunch, every one of us were sitting in that hall. So that was the moment I can never forget. Like every time I was trying to say okay, okay, and then uh, results came after 2 hours. That was the longest 2 hours I had ever felt. Those moments
Just
were like
relate to you. I
very
can just
long.
relate to you. Ah,
So
Acha.
when my test
Yeah,
number was called out, so it was such a nice experience. I felt very nice.
obviously. I can see that shining in your eyes even now. Acha, Sachin, we had a very lovely talk, very, very lovely talk. And it was very constructive sharing all your experiences. And I think we were able to bring out what mistakes that you had committed. And I hope our viewers will also take a learning from that. On this note, I would like to thank you from all our viewers and from everyone at Team Defense Guru and from myself also for having and coming your time and experience here. It was lovely talking with you, Sachin.
Thank you to the Defense Group team and this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I would again like to thank my mentors and everyone, and any viewer who will be watching. I hope that it will be some inputs they can take.
Obviously, some inputs from our experiences, some from theirs. So on this note, I'll close this video and wish you a very happy and safe journey ahead. And on this note, I would also like to say that please do like, subscribe and share our video. We'll be back with another video. Until then, stay tuned. Bye. Jai Hind.